Hey, what's up everybody? This is Flashback Toys and Collectibles. Today I'll be taking a look at the Origins Masters of the Universe He-Man from 2020. So I'm a huge fan of the Masters of the Universe. I was born in 1979 and I've been playing with these toys since I was 3 years old. And this new Origins toy line has really done a great job at capturing the spirit of the original toy line. The packaging for the Origins toy line looks very similar to the original ones released in the 80s. Let's look at the back. So it includes a comic book inside. It shows some of the other figures that are available. So what I like to do is just cut at the bottom of the bubble here and just keep the card. I have no plans to keep the bubbles, so that way I can store the card and save quite a bit of room. Try to be careful not to cut the comic book inside there. So I've cut all the way around this bubble. Now I can just lift this off. He-Man's out of here. There's my comic book. Get this out of here. Jeez, the comic book was kind of glued to the bottom. And by cutting just the bubble, we don't damage any of that artwork, at least not very much anyway. So it comes with a comic book, just like the old ones did back in the day. Beast Barrage. We got Beastman in here, Prince Adam. Figure out of here. So we got a couple of rubber bands he's attached to here. Just cut these off. So we have a sword, a battle axe, and a shield. And it looks like the power sword is just half of a sword. It looks like it could attach to another half. And that might attach to the other half of Skeletor's sword, maybe. So let's take a closer look at He-Man here. It's got very vibrant colors. The armor is nice and rubbery feeling. It attaches a little bit different in the back. The wrists move, elbows move, shoulders move. Leg, knee joint moves. The feet move and the boots swivel. And there's no leg bands right here at the leg joint like the old ones used to have. And well, I guess I was mistaken. I thought that these can twist back and punch like the old ones did. Here's the old He-Man. But I guess you can just twist them and put them in position. But that's not as fun. But by looking at this, I would have assumed it was this maneuver right here. But not the case. So that's kind of a bummer. Let's compare these. So obviously the biggest difference looking right away is the heads. There's a huge difference in the style on the heads here. He's got way brighter hair. Now the old He-Mans did vary quite a bit with the hair color. Some of the hair was lighter, some of it was darker. Here's Flying Fist He-Man. You can see his hair is quite a bit brighter. But again, the faces are quite a bit different. And there is a few other noticeable differences as far as the way it looks. On his wrist here, the armor is orange. And on the original one, it's just a clear skin. And I would say this is an upgrade. It definitely would look nicer if this was painted on the original. Although on some of the older figures it was painted, such as Flying Fist or Thunder Punch He-Man. But for some reason they didn't do it on the original He-Man. The boots are a little bit different. Instead of just being the maroonish red color, they're brown with yellow at the top. So this is the He-Man that came out in 2020. And they do have a He-Man that came out for 2021 that does have an upgraded head. And this is the head right here. Here's all three heads right by each other. And I don't mind this head, but because I used to own the old toys, I'm just so used to the way He-Man looks, it's just hard for me to accept a different style of head. I much prefer the retro style head over the new one. Let's go ahead and pop this one off. That pops off real easy. And then pop this one on, which is not going on so easy. Alright, it's on there. And now we have a retro He-Man. So I was looking at these pretty close to each other, and they look to be very close as far as the shape of the heads, but the painting on them is a little bit different. So the eyebrows are painted a little bit different, so it does give them a little bit different look on the face itself. As far as the shape and structure, it all looks pretty much the same, except for he does have the brighter hair, just like that other head. As far as the size of their muscles, it's very, very similar. And they stand at about the same height here. Alright, let's check out some of his weapons here. We have the shield here that's going to attach to his hand and then his arm. We have the battle axe. Pops right in there. Let's check out the sword. Pops right in there pretty easy. It does feel a little bit loose though. Let's see if you can get into I have the power stance, but not quite. There's not quite enough articulation to make that happen. The overall quality of the plastic feels pretty good. It doesn't feel overly cheap or lightweight. It feels like it'll hold up. The only thing that concerns me is that there's so many movable parts that you probably don't want little kids to play with this, because a foot's going to get lost, or a hand's going to get lost, or even the head's going to get lost. There's just so many pieces you can lose on these newer figures. So if you're an adult collector, you don't have nothing to worry about, but if you're going to let your little kids or your nephews or whoever play with these that's younger, you might end up with some missing pieces. Oh, I just noticed this. The power sword looks like it can go in the back here. That's cool. He stands up pretty nice. The joints aren't too loose or nothing. Let's see if I can put him in more of a fighting stance here. Way more poseable than what the old ones were. These guys don't have near as much articulation. The leg's one solid piece, the arm's one solid piece, so they're not near as poseable as these new figures are. So overall, I think this is a great little He-Man action figure, and I think it's going to look great on display next to the rest of my Masters of the Universe collection. It's now time for me to go. If you like this video, if you could hit that like button, and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.